हाँ। तो लिंक कहाँ है पे? अब वो कैसे सर्कुलेट करेंगे बाकी लोगों को टाइम पे? व्हाट्सएप पे नहीं। हेलो। हेलो। हाँ। किसको भेजा आपने लिंक? वो अपने कॉलेज के चैनल का लिंक भेजा है क्या? हेलो।
हेलो कोचर सर। हेलो। हेलो कोचर सर, आवाज आ रही है? हेलो। हेलो।
हेलो।
हाँ सर, आवाज वगैरह आ रही है ना?
हाँ, आ रही है आवाज।
ठीक ठीक है। हाँ हेलो। हेलो। हेलो कोचर सर, आवाज आ रही है? हेलो।
Coach have not joined up till now.
ठीक है सर, ठीक है।
Joined किया उसने। और रिकॉर्डिंग स्टार्ट करें, रिकॉर्डिंग कोचर सर, कोचर, हेलो।
यस सर, कर रहा हूँ।
और रिकॉर्डिंग ऑन कर दीजिए।
हाँ हाँ, कर दिया।
कोचर सर,
Yes, sir.
I think you can start now. एक हो गया.
Yes. Right, sir. Yes.
In between
Nilima,
sequel, right?
Yes, sir.
start.
Shall I start, sir?
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Okay.
But participants, please don't pen your anything on the web screen.
Very good afternoon to one and all present here. I, Ms. Nilima Kinekar, on behalf of P. Wadhwani College of Pharmacy, Yavatmal, I warmly welcome to all our participants on the second day of online short-term certificate course in Pharmacovigilance in Industry. We have with us Mr. Rohit Jaju, sir, Clinical Research Specialist and course faculty of online short-term certificate course in Pharmacovigilance in Industry. Professor Dr. A.V. Chandewar, sir, Principal of Pri Wadhwani College of Pharmacy, Yavatmal, and ex-Dean of Faculty of Medicine, Sant Gadke Baba, Amravati University, Amravati. Professor C.K. Gadewar, sir, he is Coordinator of Continuous Education and Lifelong Learning Cell. Dr. N.I. Kochar, sir, HOD, Department of Pharmacology and Course Coordinator. Now, I request Mr. Rohit Jaju, sir, for today's presentation.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you, sir.
Hello. So we are on the we are on the day 2 of online professional certificate course in pharmacovigilance. So yesterday, just a small recap. Yesterday we all have gone through some basic terminologies of pharmacovigilance, the definition of vigilance, the different regulatory body names, and which kinds of guidelines and which kind of I can say the workflow has been just the enlisted format, how it has been happened. From the day second, I'm just focusing on, I know there will be two things. One, what are the regulatory bodies and how they work? That is extremely important because the pharmacovigilance case studies and everything changes from regulatory authority to regulatory authority. Though the basic matter of the safety issues always remains same. However, their way of accessing the data, their way of reconciliation of the data and presentation of data at local level, I mean in their country to their particular regulatory authority is different. However, at the global level, when they want to share particular data, they convert that data in at the international level. So next, let us go through regulatory bodies today. Okay. So as I told you yesterday, there are different countries and the regulatory bodies that are associated with the pharmacovigilance in that particular country. So TGA, that is called as Therapeutic Goods Administration, is basically belongs to Australia region. And FDA, we all know, or we every time we came across this name, FDA, US FDA, United States of America, Food and Drug Administration. Then EMEA for Europe, MHRA for UK, MHLW and PMDA is for Japan, CDESCO is for India, and Health Canada is for Canada. Along with that, I can mention few more names which I can call them as the rest of the world, like MCC from South Africa, and Visa from Brazil, and many other countries like Gulf countries and everything. Everybody has a pharmacovigilance monitoring team and monitoring regulatory agency at the national level. Okay. Next to it, let us discuss certain things. When I say the regulatory bodies, what kind of forms or what kind of process these people have been developed so that they get the particular information on the drug safety from the people or from the clinician. Okay, so as far as USA is concerned, I can show you one thing is the US FDA, that is a health agency. They collect all the side effects, all the adverse drug reaction, all the unwanted reaction in the form of MedWatch form. So MedWatch is FDA's reporting system, I can say, for adverse event. Healthcare professional, consumers, and patients can report voluntarily. Report can be conducted online or by phone or by submitting the MedWatch 3500 form in any communicable format to these people, to USFDA. So basically, what happens in India, for example, if I am suffering from some certain adverse event, then I should go to the doctor. I mean, I will take called in as a clinician, and then clinician further initiate the cascade of the reporting of particular adverse drug reaction after all the monitoring and confirmation to the sponsor, and then sponsor goes to the regulatory authority. Likewise, in US FDA mid-wash form, so in USA, lot of online, and the education level is at higher level, the population is very less, with lot of resources available. What they can do, they have publicly allowed. So at any health center, mid-wash 3500A form is available, and the people are much more educated about them. So whenever they feel any kind of adverse effect or any kind of thing which is related to particular medicine, they immediately fill all this form and then submit to their healthcare department, and then this further processing on that. If you see MedWash form, what is given in MedWash form? So I think this is not, I cannot, I'm showing on my slide, but I'm sure that people are not getting it maybe. So let me try whether I can show you in the form of form.
Hello.
Yes.
Yes. Right. We
So
are.
I'm doing it. Just give me some time. I'm doing it. Okay. So I hope, sir, are you able to see the form?
Yeah. Correct.
Okay. So this is a MedWash form. So basically, if you learn that particular one form, every form which is related to other regulatory countries are somehow matching with each other. Just a matter of shifting the columns, shifting the columns, and shifting the particular matter over here and there. For example, now here in MedWatch form, I can see the patient information. So whenever there is an adverse drug reaction, we have to fill this information. What is the age of, what is the name of this particular patient with initials? What is the age, gender, weight? Then ethnicity is also important, whether Latin or Asian or Black African or white kind of person. So why this is important is not for the races have a different kinds of genomic, or I can say their level, uh, the body nature is different. So if yesterday, as I explained you, drug can be good for one person but can be bad for other. So in that case, the racial information is also important. For example, I said yesterday nimesulide is not good with the US people but good with Indian people. So in that case, in MedWatch form, they can write about the nimesulide with their problems. But in India, there is no such problem. So we need not to fill any kind of form from this. That's why the races are also adverse event. In case of adverse event, what is adverse event happen? Product use, product problem with different manufacturer of same medicine, then outcome attributed to adverse event. So what had happened? Whether it was a death or life threatening or just an hospitalization or other serious or important medical events, disability or congenital kind of. Then date of event, date of this report, describe the event and problem, product use. So there is a narration here. Describe an event in the, for example, a person XYZ age 26 has been feeling a problem of vomiting for last 3 hours. The date of administration of the drug was 8 p.m. and till 11 p.m. He had particular vomiting kind of feeling. Concomitant medications therapy is going on, like saline or something like that. So all the narration of the situation has been given over in this particular event that I called as a narration. Then relevant test and laboratory data. So even after you find something data, so is there any kind of laboratory findings or something like that? So when I say there is a BP, I have to show them show them that BP is raised to up to that extent, so there is some liver issues or there can is some kind of enzyme activity which is going on, WBC, RBC. So reports I have to produce which is an evident of something bad happened to that person. So it's everything is evident, should be evident. Then other relevant history. For an example, the person is suffering from vomiting. I'm at this time in my adverse event. But does that person already have an acidity kind of problem, or does he has a bad intestine or bad stomach at that particular point of time or going on? So we are relating the lot of things with the drug. So we have to find out finally a signal. My drug, my particular the reaction or the adverse event that has been happened is because of that drug or not because of that drug. But however, at initial stage, every information has to be collected, concise, and then reconciled, and then sent to the clinician, and clinician then sent to the upper hierarchy. Okay. Then product availability, kind of suspect products. Then on the next page, you can see dose amount, frequency given, route given, then treatment dates. So in case of any kind of adverse event, what immediate precautions you people have taken or something like that? What are the or any further complication or the relief from the adverse event? So everything, if you have used any kind of device, for example, endoscopy or ECG, EEG, whatever it may be, you have to mention them. For after that particular event, you have used all these devices before it you report this all these things. Then reporter information. Who is reporting? For an example, if patient itself is reporting, he has to fill all these details. If clinician is reporting, clinician has to fill all these details. And then itself, the particular company is filling all these reports for their patient to their data to the regulatory authority. They have to mention their name. So this is about the MedWatch form, form 1, form 2, discontinue. These are two types. The physical forms are also available. If you go to US FDA site or that particular site, you will also able to fill MedWatch form online as well with your registration. Okay. So this MedWatch and everything, when you go to the USA, as a part of your healthcare team, the facilities are already available with you under the national guidelines, their national guidelines. Okay. So I'm going back to my original slide. Okay. Coach sir, are you able to see my slides now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we were here, and from where we have studied about the MedWatch. Now the next EMA. So now I'm talking about the European Union. The pharmacovigilance effort in Europe is coordinated by European Medicine Agency (EMA) and conducted by the National Competent Medicinal Agency. So I'm talking about the first it was for US FDA, who is taking care of all the pharmacovigilance studies in USA. Now in Europe, Europe is consists of almost 26 European Union countries. Okay, so all EMA is working on them and their guidelines are set. Okay, so now, like US FDA, EMA has their own guidelines for like for an example, Udralex. So yesterday I was telling about some ICSR, International Conference on Harmonization, and the universal guidelines that has been established for pharmacovigilance to the different countries at the global level. However, each and every country follows their basic guidelines to prepare the data because their people, their way of education, their work culture, everything makes some sense that how easily or how with is how they can deal with the situation kind of. For an example, in India, uh, we have a particular flow like we always go to a doctor for any kind of problem. In their particular cases, they have a different setup of medicines and different set of healthcare. So they are approaching at different centers. So come to the main point is EMA is a part of Europe. They are also doing their drug vigilance like pharmacovigilance. Okay. So Udralex is the collection of rules and regulation governing medicinal products in the European Union. So whenever you have to market any kind of drug in the in the Europe, EMA is the regulatory authority to which you are finding your patent for new drug. After they approve your particular drug, for safety point of view, you need to always maintain your data as per their guidelines. So how to maintain their data? That guidelines have been given by Udralex in I guess Udralex 9, which is comprising of A and B, I guess. Yes, Udralex 9A and 9B, yes. So these are the two guidelines, or I can say there are two guidelines has been, or section has been in the particular Ultralex guidelines that is specifically deals with the pharmacovigilance. As I stated yesterday that for example, for US FDA they have a FDA guidelines 21 part CFR guidelines 606 607 as a local guideline. Then for ICH they have A2A to E2 A2F guideline, that is universal. So likewise Udralex 9A and 9B are responsible for the European management system for their drug. Next. So, European Medicine Agency System regulation is directed by post-marketing regulation. US FDA is regulated by their Code of Federal Regulation. So you can understand from this European Union how they work, and US how they work, and Japan how they work. So they have their own certain guidelines apart from the universal guidelines how to maintain a data at their own level. So in case of US, there is a federal regulation guideline 21 part CFR 301 310 312. In case of European Union, this volume 9A. In case of Japanese, ministerial ordinance and notification at their local language as well. So what is Udralex 10 volumes? So basically this particular guidelines is made up of 10 volumes. Out of that, our interesting part of interest is only volume 9. You can see the last but one line, volume 9, Pharmacovigilance Guidelines 9A and 9B. So they have all these details, right? Volume 10, volume 4, what is 9, what is food manufacturing practices. So deals with us is only volume 9. Now we talk about the USA, we talk about Europe, one more country like UK, which is Ireland, Scotland, and England. So it's a mixed culture of United Kingdom. So the Medicine and Healthcare Products Regulatory Agency ensures that medicine and medical devices are acceptably safe. How? Yellow card scheme. So now I say MedWatch Form 3500A is available with US people. The same I will call yellow cards scheme, that is yellow cards, the same matter, or I cannot say there is some small difference between this matter of registering your ADR to the regulatory authority. They use yellow card. So, Kujar, I'm sharing one more yellow card report. Okay. Are you able to see, sir? Kujar, sir?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So, guys, you can see this is an yellow card. I think this is little blurred because the pixel level has been gone beyond the limit. But you can understand the yellow card, and the right hand side you can see MHRA, which is a regulatory authority from UK. Report of suspected adverse drug reaction. Again, the patient details, suspected drug, suspected reactions, other details, reporter detail, clinician details between. So I can say MedWatch 3500A or even MHRA form like yellow card, or even in India we are using some adverse drug reaction, you can say forms, which I show in the next few slides. So everything has the same system but with a different name. The motto behind everything is we have to collect information in a very crucial way so that we can share each and everything about the safety parts to the regulatory authorities. Okay. Now come down to India. So you people must be aware of a lot of Indian things. It will be easy for you to understand now. For India, who is main TB regulatory CDSCO, CDSCO. Okay, the National Pharmacovigilance Program. We India too have a national pharmacovigilance program in India, and they have a central drug. So the full form of CDSCO is Central Drug Standard Control Organization. Okay, what is the aim of this particular pharmacovigilance regulation? Is to monitor ADRs all over the India, to review periodic safety update reports from the companies, recommendation regarding label. So this is very specific. So if you go to any kind of pharmacy shop like eye drop, or you can take some ointment or any kind of injections. So you can see there are labels are there on the bottle, or everything is given on the blister and everything. So what is the content, what are the direction, how you are using, which kind of drug it is according to the 1945 Cosmetic Drug and Cosmetics Act. So this labeling information also. So sometimes what happens, if the labeling information got wrong, the safety issues can occur. So they also ask every time, whatever the drug you are giving to, presenting into the market, give us the labels, give us what kind of advertisement you are doing. So it's not a standard what kind of advertise, but what you are telling to the patient or the people, what is available in that kind. So they are always have a label, consider the label. Then the amendments, any kind of amendment they want to talk, give. For example, if any drug is there and the adverse reaction of that drug is because of the some additive which has been added to the drug, but the drug itself is good. So we can remove that particular additive, add other additive, and then again we can sell that drug. So removing that additive and adding of the particular additive into that particular formulation brings the amendments of the previous drug, right? Then withdrawal. So whatever the we have to check the efficacy and safety. If efficacy, so there is always a issue. If the safety is at high concern, if safety is much more better than the efficacy, then only we are going on. So any kind of withdrawal, as I stated yesterday. So any kind of withdrawals, if the safety issue is not good, then we have to withdraw that particular, can say, drug from this particular system or from the market. Then provide information through bulletins, drug alerts, and seminars. So all pharmacy students, you must be checking out. There is a drug bulletins and a lot of communication has been rolled out. What is happening in the field of pharmacy or everything. So safety information is also mandatory to give everything in bulletins, drug alerts, and seminars. Okay. So in India, there is a CDESCO. So that is again I want to tell you how this regional wise. So a complete pharmacovigilance program is converted into 4 parts. So I can say zonal level 1, zonal level 2, zonal level 3, or peripheral. I can go to national level. So there is one team which is at a national level. I call them as a center. Okay. So like in India also we have state governments and a central government. So there is one central government and the state government. Out inside the state government there are much more again expansion like municipality, and then at the village level gram panchayat or something like that. So the hierarchy is there. So kind of pharmacovigilance program in India as well. There is one central level, national level so there. Then in north, east, and southwest. So in case of there is one committee at zonal level is in Mumbai, one is in Lucknow. Then at regional level, R1, R2, R3, R4, R4, all across the metro cities that has been established as a pharmacovigilance center. And then at peripheral level, there are 25 peripheral level cities are there, which are I can sort tier 2 or tier 1 cities that has been established for pharmacovigilance reporting. So anything comes from peripheral to the region, region to the zonal, and zonal to the national, and then CDESCO get all the information. So for an example, if companies are working in northeast region, they are first supposed to talk to the Mumbai center, and then Mumbai center they will give all the information CDESCO to the national center. In case of your company is in, for an example, is in Odisha or in the east part of the India, or maybe in like Kolkata or something like that. So you have a southwest region which is been mentioned. Then regional level also you can report many things. For example, you are itself in the Kolkata and Kolkata is a part of that regional pharmacovigilance center. The first report should go there, then to the zonal level, and then to the national level. So hierarchy is there so that everybody can communicate with each other in a perfect manner, so that no safety data has been missed out. Okay. Next, SIOMs. So one NGO is there. I will call, or we people call it SIOMs, the Council for International Organization of Medical Sciences, a third party, nothing to do with the regulatory authority. However, they are much concerned about the safety part as a third party or third person. Okay, so uh, the Council of Medical Sciences (SIOMS) is an international, non-government, non-profitable organization established joined by WHO and UNESCO. So sometimes it happens. I mean, I don't want to say in that way, but then certain things have happened. If certain things are influenced under our own system, we can be biased with certain kinds of. So we can see a lot of efforts has been taken, a lot of money has been involved for certain kinds of safety issues we can tolerate. So that kind of human tendency is there everywhere, not in India only, but everywhere. But to avoid all these things and just looking at the one thing, whether it is benefited to the community in all aspects of safety or not, this SIOMs is being formed. So along with all your data to this, you always have to give a regular update to the SIOM or to the this particular organization. Okay. So the international activities in field of biomedical sciences, scientific interest of the international biomedical community is basically belongs to the SIOM. You can see one form is there. Suspect adverse reaction report. Again, the reaction information is there, suspect drugs are information is there, concomitant drugs which has been given during this period or manufacturing information. Everything is given along with the patient ID and everything has been created, which is then scratched out because as per the HIPAA Act, we cannot share any information of the patient with anybody. So that is always a confidential thing about the patient. So we are also filling SIOMS form, SIOMS 1, SIOMS 2. So when you people go to the PV sector and you come across, you will definitely come across these forms on an average every day because SIOM stamp at the other parallel level has to be filled out along with your main forms. Okay. Yes. Now you can see the ADR form in India. So this is Tedesco form. I can say again like MedWatch, like MHRA's yellow card, like SIOMs. India also has a form and the same kind of information has been filled out. I just said one thing based on the culture and based on the working nature of the clinical professional of each country. They have decided what, how I should generate a data so that it will be easy to understand everything. For an example, giving a small example. For example, if any Indian person writes some scientific paper and given to the all Indian people, it will be easy to understand because from since our education we have the same kind of linkage and some kind of understanding of the things and writing skills, but when you read some paper from foreign authors which has been very valuable from the other people or other sources, you will get some time to understand what exactly it is because what we understand is in a very simplification word or we can simplify certain things kind of is what we think around it, what the people think around it is very come to the point and only talk about the thing which is very very important, whether giving a background or not giving a background kind of. So giving a small example for this particular explanation why the forms are different. So all forms are different in sense of just collecting an information. However, when you convert those information to a particular safety data or narration, it always remains same. And when you share this particular data all across the group, it goes into a single format of the same format as per the regulatory authority requirement. So thank you very much for this slide one, part one. Okay, so that is all about the regulatory bodies and how their forms work. So let us start with the slide second. Pooja sir, are you able to see my slides?
Yes,
The new one?
right.
Thank you. So
Can
now
you
I'm
remove,
talking about.
Rohit, can you remove that box, yellow colored?
I tried it, but
Something
then it is
appearing
not
again.
going. Let me check.
Is it possible to delete?
No, no right click, no left click. No, nothing can be done with that. Anyways.
Okay,
So
continue.
yesterday I was talking about one thing that is ICSR, that is individual case study report. I'm talking about. So basically, all narration. So through this MedWatch form or through other all these forms, right? All the information of a particular patient or a group of patient or something that come into the pharmacovigilance thing. Now, what they have to do? What they have to prepare an individual case report. Individual case report for what? So yesterday I told you about the two kinds of reporting. One is very expedited reporting and one is for periodic. For periodic reporting, we always have 4-6 months time in hand. basically. But for expedited reporting, we have only 7 to 15 days. So as soon as today I got any kind of data, it's mandatory that I have to report everything within 15 days to the regulator. Start working on it now, kind of. So ICR workflow is belong to this. How can I prepare a data once I get a narration from particular patient or from the any kind of hierarchy which is used. So coming to the pharmacovigilance team. So what is the first role, first criteria or what a PV person has to do? Identify the minimum criteria for HCR. So yesterday in one slide I told you the minimum criteria. There should be a patient, there should be a drug adverse drug reaction, there should be a reporter or something like that. So identify. So in that particular narration, when I'm looking at the narration or looking at the form, I get all information. Yes, there is a reporter. Yes, there is an adverse event form, adverse report, adverse reaction. Yes. Do I have a patient in that? Yes. So when I tick all yes, then it is a valid case. Like kind of yes. And now every information is present. Okay, I can process it. If any information is not processed, immediately you need to contact with the vendor from you with the information and ask them for the information is incomplete. Please give me to maybe like the sentence that at end of the day you should give me that. Otherwise it will be difficult for me to process it in time. So everything is very critically managed and everything has to be sent across the vendors in a very sensible way that they should report or they should reply on the same thing with immediate effect. Then distinguish between serious and non-serious reports. Now once you have, yes, for ICSR I have all the data. Now second thing is whether it is seriously serious or non-serious. Because certain times what happens when clinician or I can say health professional or sponsor company provides data to regulatory, they understand the word serious, non-serious. But some patient, when they provide data, they can consider their adverse drug reaction as serious, whether it may be will be a non-serious, maybe kind of, but they report them as a serious, or sometimes it's serious and they call it as non-serious. So in that case, you need to verify seriously whether a particular case is in a serious matter or a non-serious matter. Then identify SCP report. SCP is the health care professional. SC stands for health care professional. Identify SCP reports. What SCP reports is that more important. Okay. So that is it. Then determine medically confirmed reports. Always go for the medically confirmed report. So who will confirm the medically confirmed report? Only the medical professional. So data coming from the patient is always gets scrutinized in a very different way than the healthcare professional data. Define non-ICS. If you think something has reported into this particular forms as a ADR, but you have to decide whether it is really a ADR or not. If it is not ADR, then you cannot form any kind of ICSR format, individual case report. You cannot form. But then you have to keep it with you. You cannot deny it. Whatever is coming to you, you have to store it. You have to process it, whether it is important or not, significant or non-significant kind of. But then you have to do it. Describe the case processes and assessment workflow process. Now, how we are going to process the case from once you have processed the case, where it is going, and from where, for example, QC team and then QC team to the other areas in your particular team. List the roles and associate responsibility of a person involved in PV workflow. So, for example, a particular company called as Ranbaxy has a PV team, and it is consists of the 15 people. So, 15 people has their own way of working, and there has been designation set who are the processor, who are the QCers, who will send the data, who will prepare the report, who will do the data entry, who will do the workflow, who will prepare the SOPs kind of. So once you get involved in the PV team, you will know your role. And as soon as you started working with your role for few years or for few months, you will continue to do that till you get an expertise on that, and then you will get promoted to the next level for that particular work. So it is just I can say an experience game, and then how much you can understand from the things after doing your regular work. Okay. Then explain the query process. So this is the agenda. This is the agenda behind ICSR flow. When there is a ICSR, what we all need to do? We will do what? What kind of categorization are there? What will be the workflow kind of? Okay. Yeah. Again, yesterday we learned about the thing what is adverse event. So that is the definition of adverse event only. The event did not necessarily have a causal relationship with the treatment or usage of the product or medical device. May have or may not have, but there is an adverse event. Then adverse reaction. Again, the same definition of adverse drug reaction, which is very much related to the drug only. Very drug only. And then we have extended adverse event versus adverse reaction. That is again very as simple as it is. Have a causal relationship with the drug or not. So what is the minimum criteria that an adverse event report must contain? Identifiable patient, a specific individual, right? At least one of the following characteristics must be available. What is the age of the person, age group, gender, birth date, patient ID number, patient initial or patient name. Depends on what kind of criteria they have been putting to submit the file. Then suspect product. Clearly refers that names of the drug, biological, medical device, or over-the-counter product, whatever we are doing as a blind or maybe a blinded therapy, unless the event occurs in a clinical trial. So whenever there is a ADR or adverse drug reaction in the clinical trial setup, that has been treated very differently. So such kind of made watch form and everything is not been filled. Only the information is given to the regulatory authority and the sponsor. This has happened kind of, and then information is stored. So adverse event is there is an adverse event. So that what is the minimum criteria? There should be a patient. There should be a suspected product. There should be an adverse event. There should be an identifiable reporting source. So in case of adverse event, again a description of at least one event, such as what is the sign of that adverse event, what are the symptoms, what had happened, what diagnosis you come across or confusion come across, or a circumstance leading to increased risk of an event. For an example, very specific to the circumstances leading up to the increased risk of event. You are taking a particular medicine for long 3-4 days and you are starting feeling a chest pain. So you have filled a MedWatch form or a MHRA or maybe say in India, we have filled the form like uh, yes, there is a chest pain or mild chest pain, I can say happening to me when I'm taking this particular drug. So that the report has been gone and reached up to the room. But when there is a chest pain, of course, and as involved in that particular circumstances leading to increased risk of how to monitor that particular. You just can't casually take on this side what the data that is a chest pain or she has chest pain, but what could be the reoccurrence happens or what could be the further hello hello hello
Yes, hello.
okay
Yes, sir.
anyway I thought I got disconnected.
No, no. Continue.
Okay. So this is all about the increased risk and event. For example, ICU or overdose or missing happen. So in case of overdose, what happens generally people in USA that has been observed in case of their sleeping disorder, they take the medicine or kind of sleeping pills. So in case of any kind of disorder, they can go to the coma or even leading to the death. So that has to be taken. Any kind of adverse event that goes to the progression has to be handled in a very typical way because just looking at having in coma doesn't make that is the end of that particular event that may lead to the death or having a particular chest pain not stopped at the chest pain may have cardiac attack as well at the next symptom. So you need to identify those things in a very crucial way. Then identifiable reporting source. The reporter is clearly identified, establishing that there was first-hand knowledge of the identified patient, subject or consumer. So very funny thing around it that it should not be like that. You fill all the form and then you have not written who is sending all these things because you don't want to disclose yourself or you are talking about your friend or something like that and then don't disclose it. Just send a form to the particular any kind of so that my friend has taken this particular kind of drug and is showing adverse reaction and there is no information of the reporter. So that is considered as an invalid. We always need an identifiable reporting source. So in case of need, we can connect with that person or that particular with organization or any kind of source that from where we got that idea. Okay. Non-valid cases. So we talk about the valid cases. So we have all these 4 criteria, then it is valid, other it is non-valid. So for non-valid cases, every attempt should made to follow up the case to obtain the minimum information that constitute a valid ICSR. For example, in case of narration, everything is written and then said, when I took a drug, I got this kind of particular adverse drug reaction. So adverse drug reaction is mentioned. Informer who is informing the information is maintained. What kind of adverse drug reaction happened, that is mentioned. But because of which drug it happened, not mentioned. So in that particular case, a follow up the case to obtain the minimum information of that. Minimum information of that. Basically, some people uh, are are belonging like not from the non-medicinal background. Most of them are like, so even they know only what is happening and what our system says we have to follow it, and they uh, fill the form. But what is meant by drug? Very specific term. What is meant by drug reaction? What is the action? So when they fill the form, certain time they feel that I don't know whether it is mandatory or not, and they fill it or they don't fill it. In that case, it is very difficult to take a follow-up. So all PV members has to ensure there is a valid case or not, serious or not, who has sent it. So all these are the mandatory QC checks. I can say quality checks a person has to maintain when it is in a PV department. Non-valid cases are still entered in a separate database. So whatever the information is provided, whether complete or incomplete, if it is incomplete, still we have to store it. We'll not process it, but we have to store it. So somebody should not say that nobody has reported it, or we know that somebody has reported it, and let's take a follow-up. After recurrent and rigorous follow-up, even if you don't get the data, then that's a different case. But then we have to look for the rigorous follow-up. Seriousness criteria. We have to define the seriousness. When I say there is a seriousness, serious or non-serious, so when I say seriousness, whether it is leading to death or life-threatening, or results in hospitalization, or results in disability, or result in the birth defect, all these are serious criteria. So anything anybody is informing you about this particular thing, then these are called as serious ICR. So we have to prepare ICSR in a very as a serious case, as a serious case. Okay. Then important medical events. So what are the medical events has been happened? So you have to define whether it is a serious or not serious. So medical or a scientific judgment determines that the patient may require intervention to prevent one of the outcomes listed above. Examples for example, the person is in ICU, is in emergency room, or maybe that person has an allergic drug reaction like a bronchospasm or blood asacresis, or because of the drug use, he has an adverse drug event. So that can be categorized, and when the information is come to us as a serious or the non-serious. So in case of this particular cases, it is serious one. But exception to hospitalization, we say hospitalized people because of the adverse drug reaction is always be defined as a serious, or we can consider as a SAE. But in case of in the absence of medical adverse event, for example, somebody saying the situation or explaining a particular scenario, this has happened. So after my headache, I got a chest pain. After chest pain, I was feeling a little febrile, and then I got some headache. So it's a complications are going on. Whether that particular adverse event is happening because of its own body nature or because of the drug. So in that cases, after investigation and after all the follow-up, we have to decide whether that particular medical adverse event will be captured as SAE or not. Data will be there, but captured or not captured. Then, in case of clinical trials, in case of social admission, administrative admission, all these people who are under hospitalization are not considered as SAEs. They will never consider as SAEs. Now, one important thing. So when I say a person is giving a data about the adverse event, so certain times the data has been come as I have a I'm giving an example for that. So pulmonary embolism, or I can say blood disorder, or I can say cardiac disorder, kind of. So whenever the data has to be processed, data has come, which seriousness, non-seriousness has been defined out, and then considered for an individual case report form. Then one thing is clear: we will not define all these adverse event terminologies as it is. So, for example, I have a MedDRA or I have a WHODD. I will call them as a dictionaries from World Health Organization and dictionaries from the medical people. I'll call it as MedDRA. So these are the drug dictionaries or these are the event dictionaries. So When I say I got an adverse event related to blood and lymphatic system disorders, so any kind of, so any something that is related to, for example, gelatination of transformation of the bone marrow, which comes under blood and lymphatic system, which has been coded as 100788897. Now, again you can check from the slide. I have a granulomatous lymphaditis, right? So that is the inflammation of lymph and it's granule. So that is also coming under the blood and lymphatic system disorder. However, it has been coded in a different way, like 1007788494. So I'm saying under the division of different systems inside our body, and the diseases and the occurrence associated with them has been coded in the MedDRA. So latest, I can say latest version of MedDRA has been there for COVID-19 patients. If any of their important organ has been suffered because of the COVID-19 patient, and there is some occurrence of the adverse event which has been happening because of those drugs, so that can be categorized under that particular section with that code. So again, I am reiterating this thing. MedDRA is a drug dictionary, disease dictionary, along with WHO dictionary. They code for the disease condition, and they code for the disease condition means whenever the report will go, everything go, it will go in the form of code only. So the only people can understand, or it has been understandable what had happened in that area, to make the information super confidential up to the regulatory level, up to the clinician level who understand it. Okay, again you can see there are some cardiac disorders. So a coronary vein stenosis or a central bradycardia, both are related with cardiac disorder. Their code has been different and categorized under one system. Okay, so this is how it happens. In case of MedDRA, different kinds of systems are there. Inside that system, different kinds of their own related disease conditions has been described and that has been coded into the MedDRA. So confirmation of case seriousness. How will you confirm your case is serious or not? No change are made to the seriousness classification of case if the case is received from SCP. So when a case is received from SCP, healthcare professional, you cannot change its title from seriousness to unserious, even if you understand it. When he says it is serious, it is serious. Because when health professional says it, meaning it is the golden line kind of. You cannot change it because he has the knowledge of the things. By mistake it is happened, then he will revert you back like, yes, by mistake I have taken this. But until and unless his follow up, you cannot change any kind of this criteria. If we say it is serious, if we say vomiting is serious, then we have to consider this time vomiting as a serious. Then we can mail them back, yes, dear sir, this is happened, or this kind of serious issue you have been categorized. Can you please look into this particular report once again and please confirm whether it is serious or non serious? But automatically from your end, having your knowledge and SOPs, you cannot change any data without the prior information. The case is received from licensed partner or a regulatory authority. The case is received from licensed partner in the sense your company, or even from the regulatory authority from other regulatory. For example, in India, some other regulatory authority from USA has been sending us data. So you cannot decide their seriousness as our is not serious for us. No. If they are saying serious means it's a serious. A clinical trial case. Again, I said any kind of cases which has been involved under the clinical trial has been taken consideration in a very different way, because when we sell the medicine inside the market, we are very much sure my drug is very good. But when we are testing my drug into particular clinical phases, nobody assured till the outcome of whether it is good or not. So again, it is a research study, and in research study, anything can happen. So at that time, if something goes wrong, you cannot define them as serious or non-serious conduct. You just need to look at them as a science. But again, I'm saying the risk ratio of the benefit of the patient has been always at a prime importance than the safety issue. So even they know that I can go through some adverse drug reaction if I take that particular medicine. They have already know about it. It can happen, and they are ready for it. It can happen. There is an enlistment. So after taking that, you might receive such kind of adverse drug reaction from mild to severe. Are you agree for that? The people are then uh, fulfilling informed consent form. Informed consent, they are willingly agree to go for this scientific research. So it is not if something made it compulsory on that. There is a procedure. Everything is with consent. Everything is with consent. So healthcare professional who are HCP or who I can call as a healthcare professional who can do a course, a physician. So any kind of physician, irrespective of the degree, who understand the medicine and the body structure, and that is authorized by the universities of that particular uh, region. For example, in our case, like right from the registered medicinal practitioner or BAMS doctor, homeopathy doctor, Unani doctor, or MBBS, MD, or other kind of specification who has been recognized by the University of India, UGC, they all are healthcare professionals. Okay, so physicians, then dentists, again pharmacists. So in our cases, pharmacists generally don't have in India don't report for that particular serious adverse event because everybody goes to the doctor only. But in other countries which providing those facilities, they can reach out to the pharmacist, and pharmacist is the right healthcare professional who can report that to the then nurses, employee of a physician or other HCP who contact Pfizer on behalf of the physician. Also, so that is a very specific information about a Pfizer company which I have taken. So employee of physician or other HCP who are the contracted for the Pfizer. So Pfizer is a company. They have contracted something for their trials or something for their maintenance of the safety study for their particular drug. So those employees of the physician and HCP are the right point of contact because the company has cross-verified their education, cross-verified, and they have believed that these are the trained professionals who can work on it. Other health professionals specified local regulation like physician assistant in US, psychologist in Germany. So I again say based on their own culture of education. So people who consider as a well-trained and having that particular knowledge can consider as a healthcare professional for reporting the adverse drug care. Clinical study reports exception reports in which a clinical study patient subject is reporting on himself of absence. Then regulatory agency reports, except where the reporter to the regulatory agency is identified not to be a SCP or a consumer. Okay. So these are all healthcare professional definitions in different kinds of countries. Make sure a person should be well trained and qualified enough to understand those things. What is medically confirmed report? So when I say now I got the narration, I choose whether it is serious, non-serious, everything. But I know valid or non-valid, invalid, and then I come to the what is medically confirmed in the sense. So I say from different kind of healthcare professional, I got the data from the patient, I got the data, or any kind of third person, I got the data. I have to confirm whether it is medically confirmed or not. For a report in which a healthcare professional confirms the occurrence of one or more of the adverse events reported and does not deny the relationship of the confirmed age to the compound at any further. So for an example, so I took a medicine which is fever reducing, and then I am going to my I'm going somewhere with my car. I made an accident and I got my hand fractured. So in that case, that particular patient can report the thing that I got an accident and that can be the adverse event from the paracetamol which I got is his claim. But there is nothing to do with a fever containing drug to the accident which he made because of his mistake or something like that. So there is no relationship between two things. However, the adverse event has to be reported if the person is reporting that this has happened. This is related to the drug, not related to the is a different part. But we have to do that. Next, determination of whether an adverse event report is medically confirmed is necessary when the initial case was received from a non-SCP source. So whenever a particular case is reporting by non-SCP person, I in the first previous slide I told you we have to check its genuinity as well as scientifically we need to check it. Yes. A case did not originate from a clinical study. Make sure anybody from the clinical study is not reporting that, because it is not the part of PV as of now. Follow-up information is received from an HCP source. So once the report has been sent, and then he is sending on mail certain other information, but not in the format which has to be supposed to be submitted. In that case, you cannot consider this follow-up information as a medically confirmed report. If it is again sending as an amendment or something which is in a valid format, then you have to go. So any kind of general communication on mail or everything is not considered. Though it is correct, though we have a trust on it, we have to follow the basic protocol. It should come in the format which is been done. Whether you report it once, twice, thrice, or 10 times, but you have to report in that format. So medically confirmed reports are really important when you process a case. Then let's go to some work process flow, because tomorrow I am going to give more emphasis on how exactly the case process is going on. But today I just want to give a rough idea as a PV team what kind of activities has been involved. So the first activity involved is the triaging. So triaging in English is called as the decide. You can decide the priorities. For an example, if I get up early in the morning, what are my priorities of the day today? So I have to go to the office, I have to do this and that. Then after coming home, I have to do this and that. So that is my priorities of the day, how I should execute it. So like a PV team, when you are inside the PV department, when any kind of narration or case comes, you have a priority. What you should do around it, because 7 to 15 days is always clicking on your head as a expedited report for any kind of event. So you cannot be very relaxed kind of things. Yeah, something today there is nothing, so I can chill out or something like that. No, every day you have something around it to do process. So triaging is prioritization. ICSR receipt. So let us go to some technical things. I got an individual case safety report receipt. Receipt in the sense I got this report is a receipt by any which ways, through the forms or through the any kind of email or any kind of online procedure, but I want to receive. Then check minimum criteria. As I told you, check what are the minimum criteria to check a case. Then case creation, duplicate check again. If there is a duplication, or every time we need to check a duplicate. Duplicates in the sense same thing has been repeated twice, thrice, or 4 times from the different patient or same patient kind of. So that has to be considered as a duplicate. Whether we are duplicating it, the duplication should not be there. Otherwise, we are everything is better. For example, we can tell to the regulatory, we got six cases which has been reporting as an adverse drug reaction from this drug, but you never know that 2 cases are the same, and then you count the number as 6 instead of 5 because one case was duplicate, but you didn't get it. So you are talking like 6. It makes a huge difference. 5 and 6 makes a huge difference when it comes as an adverse drug reaction. So duplicacy checking is very much important. Now whatever is happening, whatever I'm telling you is inside a particular software only. Is inside a particular software only. It's not like any manual data or everything is going on. You have to get login. You have to get inside. Everything is right from your mailbox. The data you have to download and everything you have to do in software only. You are not going out of your login. So your login is 21 CFR Part 11 electronic signature. So whenever you do it, you are responsible for particular doing that particular data check or everything. So always there is a e-signature on there. Who has done it, whose login was there. So everything is like. So in banking, we also understand who has passed the check, who has passed that particular queue, or who is giving you money, and everything is get electronically captured in the data. Same way, everything whatever you done work related to the PV, everything is getting maintained. Who has worked on this? Okay. So case prioritization, seriousness, listedness, casualty assessment, whether it has a direct relation or indirect relation, etc. Then route to be maintain central level tracker. So when I say tracker in the sense, a person has a tracker. I got 3 cases, I got 4 cases. What was the information? Who was the source? So along with that particular data has been tabulated into Microsoft Excel or sheet, I can say, which is I called as a tracker. So tracker in the sense when it comes, why it came, from whom it came, or what was the reason. So everything has a data. So we'll get a data on the tracker as well. If somebody wants to see it, what has happened in a particular day, or you can get the data from the login as well from your mailbox. Okay. Now, when there is a triaging, I got the ICSR or case report. Then data entry. Start doing data entry. Now you have a patient name, you have a drug, you have a reporter name. So start that doing a data entry, like in MedDRA coding, and then you have a lot of adverse drug reaction and the complication coming through that particular thing. You need to code it. So you have started coding it. You have started writing narrative writing in a scientific language, because the people or the patient who will inform you about their uh, adverse drug reaction should not be from the medical background. Some might be engineer, some might be from the government background or something like that, which is not scientific people. They don't know how to write everything in a scientific manner. So they just narrate everything like their case. This has happened to me. So even we go to the doctor, some people, or we know the older people from our home talking in the local language. This is happening. That my hand is getting swollen, or my hand has a cramp or something like that. But in that particular case, we have a word like there is a maybe a muscle inflammation, or maybe the straining of the leg. So these are the words we people know, because we know the background of it, but the common people never know what is happening. So they just narrate everything in whatever language they understand. So that narration you need to convert or write into a scientific manner with the coding. Okay. And once you code, so you have all the data, you code it, you prepared one narration, you prepared one case, you have to send it to your senior. I will call them as a quality team. Quality team, what they will do, quality team, the same way which you have done, the same thing they will do for a quality check, that something has missed out or not missed out. So the quality team is maintaining a quality, whatever the case has been, uh, whatever the case has been prepared or formed. Is this correct? If not, then they send it back to the particular data entry person with the comments. So this is been missing. Please check into it and do revert it within this particular point of time, and then so, so this is learning. So when I say a data entry, when you are doing for a year or 2 year, you know, you get a hands on the things, and then you become a QCer, quality check person. Once you do the QC for a long time, you can go to the medical assessment, then you can go to the sponsor level person, or even to the regulatory hand of any kind of thing. So basically, the as and when you go into the PV, you get the knowledge of different things, you get tenured into that particular subject for long, you started understanding the things, your post will get increased. In the sense, your career progression is on track. How you can go for. So last yesterday, even in the introduction, Coach sir has given you the idea how the people can earn, and what kind of positions or designation has been available, and how the career can grow up in that way. But guys, I can confirmly tell you one thing today. So to be very honest, today you are doing that particularly course as a certificate course. Don't do it for the sake of you should get a certificate of that you have done something in PV. No. When you go to any kind of industry, they will never see your certificate. They will ask you certain questions. For example, tell me about the MedDRA, or tell me about the pricing, what you know, or what is the pharmacovigilance, or what is the AE or ADR. If at that particular point of time you are not able to answer them, there is no use of that piece of paper which is into your resume or which is into your bag. Make sure that. So whenever all the participants who are doing it as a part, they want to get something into PV, make sure you are doing justice to your studies in that case. Or whatever you are doing, do it by heart. Just for the sake of piece of paper, please don't do that. Yes, it is important that you are getting recognized something you have done. But when you have knowledge behind that, your certificate is a prima facie of your knowledge. So behind that paper, you should have a knowledge. Otherwise, just having a paper doesn't make any sense. So that is in my personal advice to all of you. So then is a client reviews the COMs and provides the comment. Then again, client reviews all the forms, the COMs forms, which I have told you, COMs 1, COMs 2 form, and then give the feedback. And then again, they can tell you, no, this information is there, or this information not there, or all the information given is absolutely perfect. They will also document it. So at each stage, the quality checking is going on, and the requirement fulfilling is going on, right from the triaging to the sponsor application to the medical assessment to the submission. Even after submission to any authority, if they find any kind of scrutiny, they do the scrutinization. Any kind of uh, uh, deficiency they found in the particular data, they revert back to the sponsor, to the medical assessment, the PCP in the data entry, and again whole chain has to be corrected and resent it. So this is a case processing assessment workflow. How a case has been received, and then data entry and the data check, then the signal mining, signal detection, signal data mining, quality control, then with the help of different dictionaries, how you code it and how medical assessment, then goes to the sponsor, how sponsor reacts or how sponsor qualitatively gives the information of that particular medicine to the submissive part like a regulatory, how regulatory read it, and then any kind of confusion they can ask that. So this is a complete chain cases, how this case is going on. Then QCS, so your QCS are captured on the activities tab as an individual action item. So when I on the day 5th, I will show you the software screenshots of something, or I think you people have got the study material and the PPTs as well, I hope. So in that case, you can also check the day 5 PPT if you got. I'm not very sure whether PPT has been shared or not. But professor is the right point of contact you can ask. But if it is not shared even, then on the 5th day it will be get shared. And if it is shared, then you can check. So this when I'm talking about the activities tab as an individual section, so you will not understand what I'm talking about. But this is something that in that particular software there is a one one screen. Inside the screen there are different tabs which I can show you. So that tabs is the basically has been processed. So queries as captured on the activities tab as an individual action item. To give you a small example, so on an off day you have went to the bank, so you go and deposit some, for example, 5,000 rupees to that person. So he makes you entry, he will get a message. But then when that person particularly entry for 5,000 rupees in your account, then it goes to the manager or the second line of person as a workflow. Then again he will check it, e-sign it and go to the manager. Again he will e-sign it and go to the deposit, the final account holder who is there. So this is why every time there is a tab and every time QC flow, you need to check in and check out whether it has been observed from my side or not and how it is kind of. So queries can be entered, revised during any step of case processing as well. You can do that. Okay. So this is everything is internal. So from your login, you are sending in data, then it is going to the queue of that QCR data, from QCR going to the assessment data, then to the sponsor, then to the regular. Everything is going through a particular software, I can say. So everything data is in a captured in a electronic format. So data entry, KCA, medical review, whatever it is. The individual query is to be, and then if you have query, for an example, while doing as a data entry, you find any kind of query, you can ask, raise a query to your QC. So if you are not able to understand what should I enter here or what are the queries, then you should raise a hand. So what I can do for that, or available information is what. So whatever the suggestion you are coming from that end, you need to fulfill it. Now come back to some theoretical why system fails. We know we have a pharmacovigilance team. We are doing all the safety data and everything. We are maintaining everything. Then why the blockbuster drugs are failed? So these all are the blockbuster drugs. When the system fails, MDA from GSK, Chantix from Pfizer, Merck, Bayer, Biogen, Sanofi, Novartis, and GSK. So these were the at one point of time they were the blockbuster drugs. However, you can see they are not into the system because they face as safety issues. So giving an overview of pharmacovigilance for today's day is the same overview of pharmacovigilance which I explained yesterday. Then one more important pharmacovigilance audits. So when you say I have a system, I have people, I have a team, I have a sponsor, but somebody third person has to audit everything from the regulatory department whether you are doing it everything or not. Otherwise, you are managing the data in a very nice way and sending it to the regulatory whatever format they want. It's not like that. So EME and FDA they are going through the regular audits for their systems. Summary of pharmacovigilance system, variable resources, but includes PV inspectors, 4 months notice before they will give that we will come back to there. Show me everything what you people are doing. Detailed agenda plan in advance of the audit, what we will check kind of right from the cases or just in a report or PSUR or how your agenda or how your daily routine kind of. So we will give any kind of audit which even we are having or we have faced. Every agenda will be given. What you people gonna do? So tell us and show us kind of. So in case of FDA, focus on reporting of data to the FDA. Field investigators, 0 to 3 days notice to domestic inspection, inspections. Then no clear agenda. So FDA is little crucial. They will not give you the chance like we are coming. They said you are doing according to FDA means you are on the track. We can come at any time and then we will see it. No clear agenda, documentation, data review, 1 to 2 inspectors for 1 to 3 days. So they came to your company and they will be there as a FDA auditors, so EMA editors for their drugs, and they will go for it for 1 to 3 4 days, and then you have to show them what your people are doing, how you are compliant with it. So that is all about from the today's session as a ICMR flow, from the first session as a regulatory bodies. So that's it from my end. So one more thing I just want to share with you people, that is, you all are at, I hope you all are all in the group or not, but then if you are not in the group and any kind of so this is actually it's an helping hand to all of you. Any kind of confusion regarding PV or any kind of information you people want to go into deep about the PV or some other part of the industry as well, you can connect with me offline. But I will make sure that my replies will be little late, or you can expect me the delayed kind of reporting from my side, because on and off whenever you are asking me as a part of helping hand for you, I can definitely resolve some of your queries whenever you want. But it will take some time because I also busy in some of my work. But anybody who's really interested in PV or other kind of things in that and they want to understand, sir, exactly what should I do so that I can help it, people can contact me in that particular case. Okay, so I will be helping you, but make sure the delay can be happen. You can mail me or even you can connect with me on calls, but then I will attend you when I have free time, and then I'll make sure that I will give you a satisfactory answer and the suggestion which I can give. Anyways, thank you very much from my side, sir. That's it from my side from today's session. So tomorrow we'll be going to the actual pharmacovigilance workflow, how exactly cases have been processed. Okay.
So very nice and informative session, Rohit sir. Now the session is open for asking questions. If anybody or any participant have any queries, can raise their hands. Just a minute. Babita Darange. Snehal Lakhani.
Hello.
Yes.
Sir, am I audible to you?
Yeah.
Sir, my question is, I'm a doctor pharmacy student. So what is a job opportunity for a doctor pharmacy student in PV?
Yes. So basically, the doctor people comes under that medical review team. So medical review in the team. So whenever the data is come, the data entry is happen, the QC team is going for the serious and non-serious things, and then again meeting whether this particular medically confirmed or not, what kind of disease is this, and then it's related to which kind of system, and so the medical coding has to be done in which way in that particular in that particular aspect you people are able to work. So I can see when I was working in my own company, we had a team of 3 doctors, like MBBS. I think one was from BMS, or 2 were from MBBS, I guess. Yeah, so they were helping out us for the medical part of the PV cases. So like a patient is coming, what exactly happening, what is adverse events, because of which mechanism. So I have to search for the one more thing, that is I call as because the adverse reaction is because of the drug or not. What is the causal relation? Who will decide it? Is decided by the doctor only. What should have happened? So that is a huge role of doctors in that particular thing as well. But you have to make sure that you should have very sound knowledge of each and everything when you are learning around it.
ओके सर, माय नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन इज अगर मतलब कोई कोर्स करना ज़रूरी है क्या हमें? जैसे पीवी में जो कोर्सेज रहते हैं, डिप्लोमा कोर्सेज, इज इट नेसेसरी? बिकॉज वी हैव पीवी सब्जेक्ट, मतलब हमको पीवी सब्जेक्ट डिफरेंट होता है एक.
Oh, okay. So in the morning also, when I was I mean, I got a call from Kocher sir, and we had a discussion around it that in BPharma as well there is a subject called PV. But I mean, to be very honest, I just want to focus on how many people really look at that particular PV as a domain in the pharmaceutical company, or even how many people are knowing or if not. So doing a course is for knowledge. It's not as compulsory. So if you don't have a certificate, doesn't mean you cannot go there. But certificate course, what they ensures, you have gone to the specific CV, you understand. So for example, in your particular course, I don't think so that trace triage and how to process the keys and how the MedDRA and WHO ODD are been working has been expected. I guess in India it has been mentioned only how PV has been run in India level, and then the different kind of forms and everything is superficial information. So when you go through any kind of interactive course, which is very important and given by a specialist person, you understand what is going on the industry. So when you enter inside or when you go for any kind of interview, you have the knowledge, you can talk about that particular thing, and then the people can understand. "Yeah, I already have a candidate who have at least a good knowledge around it, so we can consider them." So answer to your question is, certificate course is not at all mandatory to go in anywhere. But when you have any kind of such course, make sure that you are getting that information. So people consider you have a course means you know this, but make sure again. I'm coming back to that case. You have your certificate show you your prima facie, but beside that you should have knowledge. If you don't have a knowledge, your certificate doesn't go.
And Avanti Jathar.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
VB. This is VB.
Hello, sir. Good afternoon.
Yes. Good afternoon.
Sir, my question is that I'm a BPharm final year student.
Okay.
So after BPharm, can I directly join PV, any pharmacovigilance job, and what will be minimum package for that?
See, so basically, answer to your question is after BPharm final year, you definitely go for a pharmacovigilance job. Uh, you might have seen some advertisement about the PV. They need a fresher people of M Pharma or B Pharma candidate, anything. So you definitely have an opportunity. About the about your package, I can say it is based on company to company. So if you ask me, if you're going for a multinational company, the package is somewhat very good. If you go for the company which are not multinational but good repo, the package level goes down. So package you can expect a good package at the initial level, but then what is important after a data entry processor, when your knowledge enhances and you go further and further into the hierarchy, you get an immense importance to handle the PV. But make sure in BPharm, when you are going after a job, make sure your pharmacology, clinical pharmacology, pharmacovigilance, adverse drug reaction, you should prepare it well and then go for the interview.
Okay, sir.
Rahul Maurya. Rahul Maurya. Brijesh Thakkar.
Hello. Good afternoon, sir. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Sir, I have one doubt. In your slide, you told about duplication check, right?
Yes, yes,
In the protocol, that workflow. So I
yes,
have
yes.
one doubt that do you have any protocol for checking the authenticity of the data that you receive for pharmacovigilance? Or
Yes,
you
we
just
definitely.
copy?
No, yes, I can understand. And that duplication is because something what happens, there are five processors, they are working on a particular ICSR for an example. So repetition of the data and entering that particular data as the same thing can make a duplication and then it get further cascade. So yes, there is a protocol, there is a SOP for that, how you can do that. However, many times it happens, same processor has processed the data twice or two different processors had processed the same data twice kind of. So that is there. So we have to ensure going ahead we have the what we can say this duplication system itself is. So when you click around it with the specific words with the specific codes, you can highlight the thing that there are 2 cases or 3 cases or 4 cases of the same thing. Then you have to see it whether it is a duplication or all the data is different.
Okay, okay. And also one more thing, sir, that when your data
So
is
your
received,
okay. So your question was like duplication. It is not like that. One person is talking about the one ADR and then the same person is talking about the other ADR. So again, a person should not send the details twice, or if it is sending as an amendment, it should be very clear. So after only clarification, you are entering the data. Okay.
okay, okay,
That duplication can also occur. So person is sending it twice and then you are processing it. No.
okay. Regarding that, sir, it may also one more question I had. Sir. One question.
Ask.
Can I continue?
Yeah, continue. Sir.
Thank you. Also, one more question I had, sir. What if from the same source, from the same healthcare practitioners, we receive the same errors event data, but what about the authenticity that adverse event is actually occurring from the same? I mean,
Yes.
from the
So
same
that
area, if we are received, it may arise a question. Right?
yes, yes, definitely. So there is always so first thing is we believe only in SCP people. SCP people. So whatever the data they are giving, nobody will give you the false data about them. And then again we are checking my ADR when I am saying my drug has an ADR when I get so yesterday I think you might have there or not, I don't know. But then I showed that one case in 100, one case in 10,000, one case in 20,000. So even the people send us a data until and unless we get into that 95% confidential area, we are not staying at this particular drug as an ADR and we can stop it from the market because it can happen with this particular patient or it can happen with the people which we have an interval. For example, 5% people we can extend we can consider this will happen to them, but because of that 90% patient who is getting a good result from that particular drug, we cannot take it from the market, or we will definitely provide the safety information to the regulatory. However, it is non-significant. In the case, we are getting data but non-significant.
Okay. Thank you very much.
GD. GD. Anyone
Hello.
with name? Yes. So ask your question.
Hello.
Yes, yes. Ask your question.
Hello.
Hello?
Sir, actually, some students are there that they just continue with the clinical pharmacy, but if they are continue along with the PV, so does PV consider the clinical pharmacy experience?
Yes, definitely. See, clinical pharmacy. So clinical pharmacy is like BPharm course or how it is like. So what is the basic
Actually,
graduation
after M pharmacy.
after M pharmacy?
Yes, sir.
Definitely. See, if you are a suffix person or you are a chemistry person or you are a particular cognosy or clinical person, it doesn't make any sense. It
So
means
chemistry
that
person.
chemistry
Yes.
person, that's absolutely fine, no problem around it. Chemistry means you know the drug structure at least, right? So you have a knowledge about it. So you know
Yes,
the
sir.
nitrogen, carbon, hydrogen, what is the
Yeah.
paracetamol, what is acetylcholine, what is salicylic acid, and everything. You understand. So basic thing is around when they actually have, they know they want the people from healthcare team. So when you come under as a healthcare team, even if it is
Yes.
MSc chemistry or I can say MSc in clinical research, these people are also involved in that. But the case is when you
Okay.
go for the interview and they will ask you about the PV, at that particular point of time, you should satisfy their question. And they should realize that even after you are from a background which is not very much relevant to the exact pharmacy course or a doctor course, however, you can consider them. So I know when I was in clinical safety data management at my company, we have some people from BSc background, BSc zoology or something like BSc zoology only. but that girl has a very good knowledge of PV and she has continued PV. She's serving as a medical advisor in PV today as of now. So I say anything from the life science background with good PV knowledge can continue. So you say you have a clinical pharmacy.
Okay.
So that is much more
Yes, sir.
better.
Actually, I have experience from clinical pharmacy. Yes, sir.
Yes, clinical pharmacy,
Actually, we were
Mhm. Yes, please.
no, after M pharmacy, I am just continue the clinical pharmacy. My job in Wockard Hospital. So
Mhm.
at that time, we are just capture the ADR, whatever the suspected reactions are there, and all that data we are going to report to the company as well as the PV also. And apart from that, we also have the different work like capturing the medical error, medications errors. So
Yes,
they are belonging to pharmacy, nursing staff, medical officers, and all these things.
exactly. So you are right now working as a third-party vendor for that particular, or I can say licensee contractor for that particular company, right? So as I explained earlier, so you are having a very good
Yes, sir.
experience kind of ADR.
Yes,
You
sir.
know the things exactly. You know how to report this to the PV. Then you also understand how to report to the regulatory when you are joining any kind of company. So it is a good part. So this experience will definitely get count
Yes, sir.
when you are going for a PV.
Actually,
Okay, sir.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Am I audible?
Yeah,
yeah.
you are audible.
Yeah. So, sir, in your presentation, you mentioned about sponsor apps. So, what do you mean by sponsor app?
Okay, so sponsor apps is something like that. For example, any company is there, or like Pfizer, Glenmark, or anything. They buy
Mm,
some packages of software where all this
mm,
medical data can be encoded, can be processed, and can be sent down. They have a lot of flexibility inside there. For example, for the data entry people, they have flexibility. QC people, they have flexibility. Or I can say interfaces,
mm,
different interfaces or different
mm,
compartments in the particular software. So one software
mm,
can serve for all the purpose of the PV. For an example, it's not for
mm,
PV. If you go to the clinical trial, if you go to the drug regulatory information, if you go to the bioinformatics studies or any kind of research studies, any kind of sponsor will definitely buy some kind of packages and software package which gives him all the
mm,
data. So the data which I have worked on the Argus Safety, which is one of the renowned software which my company was using basically. So that
mm,
is Argus Safety. Again, Argus B and something more, many softwares are there, and there are some people who are also managing at a manual level and then submitting data to the people. So this happens. So when you say what is that particular software is an interface where you can log in, like your email ID
mm,
or Google, you can log in from that.
mm,
So let me tell you in that way. When I go to the company, I logged in with my name XYZ with login entry into the Argus. I am a data entry. So I
mm,
in my
mm,
mailbox, I will open my inbox, which is very specific to my company. It's not Gmail account.
mm,
For
mm,
example, and then I open that case report. I process it.
mm,
Process it in the sense
mm,
I take it download. Then I will fill all the
mm,
data entry and then submit the button. Submit. Then it is going to the QC tab.
mm,
Now I
mm,
cannot change it. Only when he will
mm.
reject it, I can change it. So
Okay.
that way. So that is a compartment. So Argus Safety is a
Mm,
database in which you right from the entry to the processing all data, retrieving all the information, retrieving all the reports at the end, sending it to the particular
mm,
client. Because these
mm.
particular databases are authenticated. 21 part
Okay.
CFR authenticated.
Mm-hmm. So,
Okay, so that is obvious.
are these, sir, are these apps specific for different companies? I mean, different for different companies,
Yes,
or is
for
it?
yes, for example, I'm giving you a simple example. You can go to any kind of,
Mm,
for example, it's a choice based kind of. So you know you are
mm,
going for a mobile app for a mobile gallery. You might like Samsung, some
mm,
might otherwise like Vivo, or some might like
mm,
Motorola. But the basic function
mm.
is for phoning,
Same.
gaming, and
Mm,
calling each and everything. So it's up to you
yeah.
that which gadget do you like and how much you
Yeah.
can pay for that. So this is way.
Yeah.
So basically, the good companies for one user. I'm just telling you an
Mm,
internal information. For one user, $2,200 has been using for one particular login account. You know, big companies.
mm-hmm. Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you, sir.
KP Seshadri.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Am I audible?
Yes.
Hello.
Yes, you are audible
So
to
I
me. You can.
wanted to ask, do only pharma? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I wanted to ask, do only pharma companies invest in pharmacovigilance, or IT companies also do that job?
Yes. Yes, so I'm talking on this in this way. For example, I know the TCS, the Wipro, then Cyformix, Cognizant. So what they do, they contact with all the good companies or all the big companies, and they said we can do pharmacovigilance studies for you. So they have that set of people over there. So many of the times you can consider that they need a PV, a data analyst or PV people for any sponsor company. At the same time, the TCS, Cognizant, Cyformix, or IQVIA, they are also working as a third party vendor for that particular pharmacovigilance studies to that sponsor. So you can go there as well, no issue. But from shifting from here to there doesn't make any sense. The workflow and the responsibilities always relies at a licensor. So when you are working with, for an example, a contractor company, everything relies with you. The sponsor only understand you are submitting data or not. That's it. So the whole and sole responsibility relies to the third party. Either sponsor will do it or a third party will do it.
Okay, sir. And sir, what is this medical transcription writing?
So
Many
medical
of the
transcription.
companies.
Yes, medical transcription is the transcription of the disease and drug forms for other purpose. It is not basically deal with the PV, or some of them can understand the PV because the codes in the PV are altogether different as per the regulatory. Medical transcription is different. Medical transcription is all about the disease conditions basically. So you can converting
Okay.
on. So many people are doing online job like for 4 hours we can pay you 10,000 or 12,000 kind of things, and you do some medical coding and medical transcription for us. But that is not exactly related with PV. That is something different which is very much related to the disease and disorders.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Yes.
Moreshwar Lad.
Hello, good afternoon, sir.
Yes.
Sir, if trial is going on in India and the often ADR is very common and serious, and how we can report it directly to the UMC or WHO?
UMC and WHO, why we want to report? First thing is that first is whatever the
If
ADR has been. Tell me.
yes, if ADR is common and serious and worldwide, if multicentric study
Okay.
ADR is common and serious, then how it can be reported directly to the UMC? Is there
No,
need to?
see, the data has been going to regulatory of each and every country, and the something who is controlling all the over the regulatory or is in touch with the regulatory, they will send this data to us. For example, if tomorrow something happens like on COVID-19, XYZ drug is working on COVID-19 and multi-centric trials are going on, and then a certain kind of I can say adverse drug reaction has been observed. You have each multi-centric trial has to set this particular data to their sponsor, and their sponsor is sponsor responsibility that has to be sent to the regulatory authorities into that particular country first. And second thing is, in clinical trial data, as I showed you, these are the exceptions. Right now, we will not consider as an ADR because of that particular drug, because it is under investigation, not in the post-marketing surveillance.
Okay.
So you directly cannot contact WHO if this is happening. If you inform, they will understand it, but then again they will initiate the back chain. Go back from which country is, what is happening, who is the guest, please take care of. Some certain times happens. We made the higher hierarchy and they tell you, no, I'm not the right person point of contact. We should meet them and then let it come from them their side.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much.
Okay, so no more questions, Rohit sir, and thanks to all participants. So today it's the end of the session, and tomorrow join by the same link, same Zoom link at same time by 1 p.m. Okay, thank you.